To me, this is a drinker. This is going to pair with, again, some of the lighter fare. Maybe, this will go well with barbecue. I think some of the lighter barbecue is nothing real heavy. And probably is an ingredient in cooking.
Oh, yeah. There's, one of the other easier things to do during the summer, just throw some, boil some brats in pour a couple bottles of this into a big pot, chop up some onions, cook them through, and then finish them off on the grill. And then, like you said, that the flavors pair well with the caramelized flavors off the grill.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah, okay, we have some questions. Some talk about the beer here. Yeah, it is a little bit more aromatic. I think without the wheat and the rye and the hops in the way, you get more of the yeast, the esters coming out a little bit. It definitely is quite a change from the wheat. Yeah. We can see it as a session beer. Yeah, at 5.5, I could see it as a session beer. I think technically they're supposed to be lower, but to me this is obviously not a huge alcohol beer. So this is doing quite well in my refrigerator at home. As a matter of fact, it's finding quite a home.
And then what are the cheese pairings with the Yancey's Fancy that go well with this?
Well, we looked at a couple of them, but the Triple X sharp cheddar seemed to work. It's funny. I just think the sprightliness of this beer, I don't know how else to describe it, kind of marries well with that. Pulls some of that, that coating off your tongue, get you ready for the next bite. So that seemed to work. If you want to do something a little bit different, you could do. We got some aged cheddar with horseradish that we tried. Any of those will work. That's what I found. All right.
So you guys are talking about the afterbite. What are you guys tasting in the afterbite there? What should we be looking for in the finish?
Well, I would, this should finish.
It has a really nice finish. It's got a nice crispness to it. I like that. At the same time, it's fruity enough to keep it from being harsh. Good.
Yeah, we weren't looking for anything real lingering. Obviously keeping the bitterness low and the fermentability, just high enough so that it finishes a little drier. We didn't want a whole lot of residual sugar or high real alcohol at the end. Yeah, again, I'm partial. I like these beers. This works for me, but I think it has a place as one of those summer beers, like you were saying, on the porch.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that works.
I think this beer needs food.
Yes.
Because of its dryness, it'd be a really good beer to match with a lot of foods.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, these beers pair really well with that summer fare like Jim was talking about.
Any questions on this beer? Yeah, pizza beer. That would work. That would be fine. Yeah. I think any of the lighter meats, off the grill, that would work. Again, I wouldn't do anything real heavy. I wouldn't do real,
Not a big roast.
Yeah, I wouldn't do anything like that, or not necessarily anything spicy.
Right.
That's me. Mexican food, that would work.
Yep. All right. Any other questions on Kolsch? Any other questions?
I assume you used a Kolsch yeast for this.
No, actually we didn't. Again, we used our normal ale yeast. Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
It turned out pretty well.
Thank you. Yeah, it's what we wanted to do. We always are juggling, what you'd like to do, what you'd like to try. We try to stay within the same yeast strains if we can, only because of the handling and, we have plenty of the ale yeast, and we want to be able to make this when we want to make it. So, we were happy with the way it came out. Yeah.
So did you adjust the fermentation temperature at all?
Yeah. We went a little.
You went a little cooler with fermentation.
We went a little cooler. The concern on the brewing side was, we don't want to go too cool. You don't want to get. You don't want to form diac and not have that broken down. We didn't want to stunt the yeast at all. So we wanted to go cool enough to give it some lager character, but not so cool to beat up the ale yeast in a sense. But you can also make up with some of that, or make up for some of that with time too. It'll allow the yeast to mature the beer. So kind of balancing the time, the coolness, and what we're going for seemed to work.
How long did you lager this beer after fermentation?
I want to say it was maybe 4 weeks in that area somewhere. I work mainly on the hot side. We've got a fermentation guy. Excuse me, I'm looking up some specs because I had a question here.
Darren's mentioning this would go great with the Zweigel White Hot. And for those not from Rochester, might not be familiar with the White Hot. That's a local culinary specialty. It's a hot dog. It's a white hot dog. It's a little spicier, more of a pork flavor to it. So just in case the non-Rochesterians weren't catching his reference there. I think, Lou, you had a couple questions. I'm not sure if you're on the phone there, if you wanted to ask.
I got a couple questions there. Is it all two-row? Excuse me. Is it all two-row? No, there's a little bit of wheat in there. Again, I think it's in the area of 5 or 10%. But.
And Lou's also wondering the final gravity.
Final gravity was about 1.5 Plato. It was down pretty far.
Steve's wondering, is it cooler than regular ale?
Oh, yeah. When I say cool, I mean cooler than the regular ale temperature. Certainly not as cool as our lager temperature, but again, not as warm as the ale. So kind of just try to find that sweet spot,